Greetings and welcome, people, and welcome indeed to the first unboxing video on the Mighty Beanstick channel. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. Yes, I know there are many thousands of unboxing videos on YouTube. You may have seen quite a number of them already yourself, but I think there might be something a little bit different about this one. But we'll get to that in a little while. So as you can see, the package is in front of you, and it is as it arrived to me. I have not opened this package in any way. I haven't even split the sides or anything like that. So basically, you are going to be seeing the item in this package at the same time I do for the first time. So here we go. Great. Let's get the box out of the way. It is in a rather smart case. Some of you may be thinking, oh yes, I know what this is. This is boring, I'm not going to bother watching this, but I ask you to please bear with me. It's very difficult to get all of this in shot, but there we go. Very nice hard shell case. And there we are. Yes, it is an action camera. Boring, you might be saying, but I ask you to bear with me while I go through what we've got here. Obviously we've got the usual stuff, USB cable, various mounts, clamp bolts. Now that's one thing that drew my attention to this camera, is the fact that it comes with a microphone socket and an external microphone, which just plugs in to a normal mini jack. Please take note, GoPro and Drift. You do not have to have stupid great big adapter blocks that stick out of the camera just to plug in a microphone. All you need is a simple little, that looks like a 2mm mono jack plug. That's all you need. Don't need anything other than that. So again, more mounts and brackets, and comes with the usual array of GoPro type mounts, including a tripod type mount there. And the other thing is it comes with a remote. Yeah, a lot of cameras come with these, so yeah, nothing fancy, but handy if you use that sort of thing. There's a battery. I don't know if it's the battery for the remote or a spare battery for the remote, but we shall possibly find that later. And that is just a battery charger. That looks like a battery. Bar mount, usual stuff. Yep, nothing apart from the external mic. So far, you'll be thinking, well, what's so special about this? There's nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. Yeah, usual adhesive mounts and straps and another strap and the various cable ties. Oh, and that. In that one there also is the safety tether. Always recommend using those if you're using a camera on a bike of any sort or externally on a vehicle. And there we go. This is probably a bit of a giveaway as to partly why this camera caught my eye. Now, I was browsing through Amazon, and I know I've said before that's a dangerous activity. And like I say, this caught my eye. And you might be thinking, well, why did it? It's just an action camera. I don't know if you can actually see it on there. Okay, I don't know how that clip works. Oh, there we go. Quite a nice secure mechanism on there. The camera just slides out. Now, as you can see, the text under here, I think you can see, this thing won't focus that close, sorry about that, but it does say on the instruction booklet 4K and EIS. Now in this case, you're probably saying yes, I know what that is, but for those who don't, EIS means electronic image stabilization. As I understand it, there are two main forms of image stabilization. If you have, within the camera itself, if you haven't got a gimbal or something like that, that's electronic, like this, where the image is stabilized in the software or the firmware, or optical image stabilization, where the sensor behind the lens is mounted on small servos, and as the camera moves, those servos can move slightly to compensate, so the sensor is moved in the image to try and keep the image more stable. Electronic image stabilization is the same idea, but the image that you see stabilized is actually a smaller cropped part of the main image, which obviously then the camera software moves that cropped part around inside the main frame of the image to try and stabilize the image. I mean, I've seen electronic image stabilization cameras before. When they first came out, they were not that good. The image seemed to be, whenever you turned the camera or something like that, the image would slug slowly to the side or up or down. It was a rather strange thing to watch. And of course, the other thing is, as most cameras have, is Wi-Fi as well. So you can download an app to your phone and control your phone settings and download footage and photos from the camera to the phone, and even share directly onto social media that way. So basically what we have here is a slightly wider than GoPro clone action camera with 4K, image stabilization, Wi-Fi, remote control, and the other thing is, if I can find it, can't get the battery cover off, come on, off you come. Is you have a battery, and that is a 1200 milliamp hour 4.62 watt hour, but you also have another battery. So basically with this kit you get two 1200 milliamp hour rechargeable batteries. Now that's quite good. So let's just close that back up again, and as I say, I have literally only just opened this box, so I don't know what the state of charge of these batteries is. So I will have to charge those up. But at the moment, all I'm wanting to do is do a very quick review of the unboxing of this camera. So, as I say, quick roundup again: 4K, image stabilization, Wi-Fi, remote control, two 1200 milliamp hour batteries, and all the usual array of bits and bobs, mounts, straps, and one thing that might appeal to many people is behind this rubber strip down here is the microphone jack. Yes, it has its own built-in microphone, which I'm assuming is bypassed when you plug the microphone into here. Excuse me. So far, you're thinking, well, yeah, it's a 4K camera, blah, 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 all the usual stuff, and that doesn't fit in there very well. What's so fancy about that? It's a reasonable spec. You can look on Amazon or anywhere else and you can see physically almost identical or similar spec cameras for anything between, here in the UK, £50 to £80. The thing that caught my eye about this was, with this spec, this camera was £27. £27. Now there are a great many 1080p cameras that are that price or more. Come with one battery, don't have a microphone socket, don't have a remote control. So I thought that was worth looking into. And they certainly don't come with 1200 milliamp hour batteries, which is probably one of the largest capacity batteries you can actually get. I don't know what these actually will end up being capacity wise. They might be significantly less than that. I mean, anybody can print a label saying 1200 milliamp hour and slap it on a battery. Most of us won't know, but I don't even have the equipment to be able to test that battery to see whether that is actually a genuine rating or not. So I thought it was worth a go, but obviously for that money, this is not going to be a native 4K sensor. These type of cameras with native 4K, real 4K sensors, tend to be £100 at least more expensive than this. And if you're looking at the big brands like GoPro and that, you're talking about, well, it's being £27. The GoPro Hero 7 Black with its image stabilization is about £400. So getting on for 20 times the price of this one. And also for that money, I don't know whether that image stabilization is going to be any good. So as we say in this country, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So what I will need to do is to get this charged up, get the batteries charged up, get a memory card in here, I think it goes. Nope. Okay. I'll have to find where the memory card goes. Was it in the battery slot? But anyway. Yes, it's in the battery slot. Didn't spot that. So, but unfortunately, oh dearie me, that battery cover is a bit tricky to work. Dearie me, that is not going to last very long. And the other thing, of course, is it comes with a waterproof cover. But as with all waterproof covers, it's going to make using the microphone and an external power cable quite tricky. Now what I'm going to do, if I decide to keep this camera, I'll have to wait and see how it actually functions, how good the 4K is, how good the image stabilization is, before I decide whether I keep it or whether it's just going back. If I decide to keep it, I will try and source another waterproof case, and I will make an aperture in the side here. In fact, I might even try and get two waterproof cases, one with just a hole for the microphone and one with a bigger hole for the microphone and the USB power connector, which I believe is that one. That's an HDMI output. So on paper, quite a promising looking spec. We will have to wait and see how that actually pans out in real life. Interesting. So, like I say, need to get this kitted up, prepped up, mounted on the bike, and go for a ride. Yes, I know, I could just stick a memory card in it and point it out the window and just see what the quality of the image looks like that way. But I'm very keen to find out how this image stabilization works in an environment such as on a bike, on a motorcycle, not mounted to the helmet, because I won't put something that big and blocky on my crash helmet. I'm on record as saying that. But mounted to the bike, and if I decide it's not good enough for the bike, it might go in the car. Because I think a 4K dash cam will be quite good. So I think that's going to be the end of this particular video. As I say, the unboxing. I think it looks quite smart. A nice matte finish. How long that finish will last, I don't know. So I'll bring you back when I've had a chance to get out on the bike and give this a test. Thanks very much for watching. I'll speak to you again later. Cheerio for now. Bye.